he's got that mental ability. I love he's a family man, fighting man. His dad's next to him. I just love that whole aura about it. It's like he's a natural boxer. He hasn't been, athletically sort of programmed like a robot to say you're going to be a fighter now, or you could have been any one of these sports. And that's what I love. But it's like right at that last hurdle, I'm just like, why did he not use his size and power?
Yeah, it's so much easier for us to be on the outside and say, well, why did you do this? And why did you do that? And we're not the ones in there, right? And I'm telling you that Usyk technically and tactically maneuvers you into a position where he can hit you and just do a little slight movement to get his head out of the way, right? And that's what he does. And he also lulled you into a full sense of security. And he did that with Tyson Fury. Because when Tyson Fury was all mucking around, and I think it was like round 4, round 5, where Tyson stuck it on him. And I thought, oh my, this ain't going to a couple more rounds.
Yeah, that's
right?
it.
And he sucked it up.
Yeah.
Remember, Tyson Fury's a big unit.
Massive.
He's a big unit. He sucked it up and he came back. So it's not like, oh, this guy deserves to be undisputed. If a man he's a massive, what was he? He was British champ. Was he European champion as well? He's British Commonwealth champion. He was even I think he was Southern Area and English champion. And he went on to become WBC and lineal heavyweight champion. Now, when you say this man deserves to be undisputed champion, I hear what you're saying. But when I look at great heavyweights of the past, one of the greatest heavyweights of all time who's got to be in everybody's top 10, not anybody, but everybody's top 10 is Larry Holmes. Larry Holmes was never undisputed heavyweight champion of the world. Did you realize that? The great Larry Holmes was never undisputed champion of the world. So when you look at things like that, I'm saying, well, even if you don't become undisputed champion of the world, Mr. Tyson Luke Fury, you're in good company.
What happens in December when it's round 2?
I want Tyson Fury to win. I do. Right? I want him to win. Whether he does, that's another story. Right? Because I believe, and when I remember it's like Spencer Brown, he's Tyson's manager, I know really well. And he was saying I was watching interviews, he was saying we've left no stone unturned, even down to in the swimming pool and the temperature of the water and everything. We've done everything we can for this. They did everything they can for this and they came out second best. Right? So it makes you think what can you do more this time to beat Usyk? And Usyk's very good at rematches. That's how Anthony Joshua.
He's a good reader.
Yeah, right. But in saying that, I believe if Tyson Fury did slight adjustments, he could win this fight. He ain't gonna win the fight excitingly. He's gonna win the fight technically boring. But I think Tyson Fury could win the fight. You know what I mean? I'm gonna keep on saying this until this gets to his camp. Make sure that
What?
You know what I mean? Take a seat. I'm gonna this segment here. I'm gonna send it to Spencer Brown and Woody, who also works for Gold Star. I'm saying it because I really do believe that Tyson Fury could win the fight, but it would be boring.
Do you think he needs to keep him on the outside and use his reach?
It would have to do that. But the thing about it is this: what Tyson Fury did so brilliantly in the third Deontay Wilder fight is when he feints and he double jabs, right? And I think he got taken away to think, right, I'm the bigger man, I'm just going to show you what time of day it is. But he was with another guy that could suck that up. And he did suck it up. But, you know what, because I think it'd be sacrilege if we don't get Tyson Fury versus Anthony Joshua.
Yeah, this was my next question. It's look, they're the two biggest names in British boxing, Anthony Joshua and Tyson Fury. Who wins that fight?
Right now, Anthony Joshua. Right now, Anthony Joshua.
Is it because Tyson's coming off a loss?
Yeah. And not only that, but I really do enjoy this Anthony Joshua that I'm seeing right now, who he's linked with Ben Davison. The irony is that Ben Davison used to train Tyson Fury. But I'm enjoying seeing this guy here. I'm really, Anthony Joshua here, I like this Anthony Joshua. I really do like him.
Okay, well, I hope we do get to see that fight. You know, look, you've been absolutely amazing in terms of your analytics, in terms of the heavyweight boxing division. You're a renowned historian in the game. You've got bags of knowledge. I want to go back in time to when you was actually boxing. Seen a few of your fights, and one of the most exciting fights I saw of yours when you was fighting David Walker. God, that was a fight. Talk to me about that fight because for those of people that don't know, there was like three knockdowns, and both of you got sort of knocked down. But talk to me about that fight. Talk to me about that night.
You know what? I say this a lot to people, and I'm saying everything is about championing life. You can put so much emphasis in, I'm going to be champ. I've got to be, like now I can be really open and honest about it. I know that I massively underachieved as a boxer, but that was majorly because I didn't have that real fire inside my belly, because I've been very fortunate in life to have a good network of people. Like Tundi Ajayi always says on the fight, I got a crazy black book. And it's even more crazy now. I got you in there as well now, right? But I'm saying, like, I got a crazy black book where I know everybody. I was always that guy as a young kid that, if you want something, come to Spencer, no matter what it was. You know what I mean? Yeah. You know what I mean? I want to go on holiday. Talk to Spencer, he's got a link to get cheap holidays. You know what I mean? I want a new car. Talk to Spencer. I want a video recorder. Talk to anything, caster, anything. I was always that kid. And with that comes price tags you earn. So you're wheeling and dealing and all the rest of it. You know what I mean? I think now when I look back now as I'm getting older, I wish that I had better infrastructure. I'm glad that I'm talking to you because you're a property guy. We can sort out something off the camera,
Maybe.
right? Yeah, right. So when you're that way inclined, the real oomph or desire weren't really there, because I could do amazing things in the gym. I mean, amazing things. And I'm not saying it to blow, but go speak to the old pros that you spar. Go speak to Rinky Wright. Go speak to Howard Eastman. Go speak to, there's loads of guys. Richard Williams was a fantastic player. Like, but I realize now that I was actually a gym fighter, right?
What does that mean?
Meaning that I could perform in the gym, but I would never really perform in the spotlight. Certain times I was performing in the spotlight, certain times I wouldn't perform in the spotlight.
Why is that? What's the difference?
I'll tell you it's the occasion would play heavily on it. And like, I remember like before certain fights, I'd break down in tears. I remember like, my best friend, Edmund Clotty, everyone calls him Country. I remember I was up, it was like my first title fight was against a guy called Gary Logan, who's like one of my best mates, really mad fighter, right there, against a guy called Gary Logan, right, for the Southern Area title, middleweight Southern Area title. And I'm in like I would listen to a certain gospel song in my house to get me hyped. Right, by the Winans or something, but it would get me hyped, like, yeah, we're gonna go do this. And I remember being in my bedroom. This is the song Shadowboxing, and I played it and I started crying. I was crying uncontrollably. I was just crying and crying and crying and crying and crying. And my mum comes up and she said, "What's the matter with you? You're gonna be good." And then she phones my mate Country, and he comes over and he, "Come on, man, what's the matter? Come on, we're gonna do this. It's you. You're the spirit." That's what it was called me then. You're the spirit. You're gonna do. And I was just crying uncontrollably. So I realized like, with boxing, sometimes you gotta be detached from the dangers of the sport. Yeah? And I don't think I was really detached from the dangers of boxing. I'm not just talking about the physical danger, I'm talking about the mental danger. I wasn't detached from it. I was fully aware of the dangers. And it was also like, with anything that you're going after in life, if you're going after it, but you're going after it half-hearted, because I was that guy, I always used to get girls, right? I'm saying I always used to get the prettiest girls I would get. You know what I mean? I always had flash cars. I always had those things. And it wasn't through the attributes of boxing, right? People thought it was from the attributes of boxing, but it actually wasn't from the attributes of boxing. And it was like, when you're that face, like, I was a name from from secondary school. Everybody knew, oh, Spencer's the guy. So I've always had that. So, and if I look at guys who really made it, they were not the ones. They had something to really, really fight for. Do you know what I mean? And it's like, when I fought Dave Walker, I remember that was